Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 22 and another part of our My Team career mode with Brawn GP. Today we have the full race of the Austrian Grand Prix. It has been an interesting weekend so far. I qualified in 14th place, felt we had a little bit more in the car than that, but then in the sprint race, of course, had an engine failure. After an excellent start, we were battling for the back end of the points, and you know, I think we really could have had an awesome end to the race. But yes, an engine failure, our first mechanical failure of the season, left us in 22nd place and us having it all to do for the race day today. We are taking a brand new allocation of every engine component as well as a new gearbox to try and tide us along to the end of the season and at least give us a little positive as we go on to France next time out. But we will try our hardest, we'll fight through the field, and 36 laps, anything could happen. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or the other has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Perez, Lando Norris, and Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Hamilton, Tsunoda, and Daniel Ricciardo, Albon, Fernando Alonso, Guan Yu Zhou, and Sainz, Vettel, Latifi, Valtteri Bottas, and Lance Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Magnussen, and the captain. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we discuss Red Bull? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, here we are down on the track then. A couple of different strategy options. Mainly going for the medium and then the hards. A little bit later on into the Grand Prix, we could potentially have a little look at what a medium hard strategy would look like. And that would actually be 8 seconds quicker, by the looks of it. Maybe if we take that a little bit further, 21 laps. But then that is seemingly a lot slower than what we currently have. Yeah, they just seem to think that that is definitely a slower way of doing it, but I don't see how that's the case, particularly. Yeah, 7 seconds slower, apparently, but yeah, we'll trust the strategy. And yeah, we'll head into the race. Let's go for it.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
So everybody on the medium tyres except Carlos Sainz, who is in 14th position.
Cars come back to the grid to line up for the start of the race. Each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that within the points.
So lining up on the grid then. Lights out, ready for those 5 red lights to appear. And we are going to be in 22nd position. Definitely trying to stay out of trouble as we head into turn 1. So here we go. Ready for the action. It's lights out, away we go here for the race. And Kevin Magnussen straight away gets off to a good start against Oscar Piastri there, but didn't sort of take advantage of it, but has left the door open for us into turn 1. We sort of take evasive action there and try to...
He's taken some damage, you might start to notice it soon.
Try to come through a tiny little bit of underbody damage apparently, but nothing really to worry about as we head down the inside of Oscar Piastri. And we are through on our teammates, so a couple of positions made up already, and we need to make sure we're keeping an eye on these guys ahead because they are going to be going side by side into the next corner. And now we need to just stay in the back of this pack and try and follow Carlos Sainz through essentially. If we can catch up to him, that would be a really beneficial part of our race. We're trying to cut to the inside of Lance Stroll. Not going to happen though. And there's Sebastian Vettel. Ho ho! Stroll came right across the face of us there. And that was very, very dangerous. Allowed Oscar Piastri through. But big slide from Pierre Gasly. Oh, and Piastri. Goodness me. Lance Stroll now in the way. This is crazy. Go down the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact from the rear. How's our car looking? Still okay somehow. And we're up to 17th position as it stands. So overall it has to be counted as a good start, but little bits of contact, that's not going to help our bodywork. It looks like Bottas is going to come into the pit, so we've got to be careful here. Pierre Gasly nearly going into the side of him there. And now we get on the gas. ERS deployed, closing right in on him. So I think we hold back and try and get a good exit. DRS enabled. Good run on Pierre Gasly. Up in towards turn 3. And we go later on the brakes and we make it through. Very, very nice. And DRS to pull away from him as well. That's ideal. Up to 14th position now in this Grand Prix. Well, we've got yellow flags up ahead. Daniel Ricciardo.
Right, drop your speed.
Oh, it's safety car. Safety car. So what was that for? Let's have a little look. Was it the safety car thing again? I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. The Alpine went into the back of that car. And Ricciardo then sort of dropped his speed. So yeah, is that Fernando Alonso? I think it is. Yeah, Fernando Alonso going into the back of the Alfa Romeo. He's trying to make a move on Ricciardo. The Alfa's going into the pit lane and Alonso goes straight into the back of him and weirdly enough didn't go into the pits. I'm not sure why that was, but safety car deployed, which is very, very interesting because
okay, we think the
we haven't
incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Not more damage, is it? No, I don't think so. Already 17% wear on the tyres. But yeah, it is going to be interesting. We're up to 10th as it stands. Let's see if he's just ahead of us. Lots of people picking up wind damage, but we haven't had a safety car since, of course, that very infamous safety car glitch episode in Canada where only 3 cars finished.
Okay, slow down.
I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Too fast. Reduce your pace.
Nick Latifi, I think, might be going into the pits here. We'll see. So on the 9th now. One of the Ferraris in. Might have been signs on his soft tyres. Yeah, looks like we are going to catch up to the safety car, and then it will take over and be a broadcast. And we'll see if anything drastic happens here. Let's see. Then safety car ending. I'm just really hoping that we don't see any glitches again. I don't think we will. I think we're going to get back underway here. But yes, taking over control once again. Tyres in good condition.
Racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
So it's all going to be about our exit from the final corner. But I thought the clerk might have gone for it by now. Here we go. We are underway once again here in Austria, and we've got an excellent run straight away on Nicholas Latifi. And we should be able to make a move around the outside of turn 1. He's going to hang it on in there, but we managed to open up the wheel and we are through.
Good job. Nice overtake.
In 8th place in this Grand Prix, and that is a really important move to make, because Latifi, of course, is a slower car. And equally, we want to stay close to Schumacher and Tsunoda up ahead. I don't think the top 4 are anywhere in our sights today, but I think the 2 ahead of us could very much be in that if we can hold on to their DRS. Now, obviously, we're driving a slightly damaged car, a bit of a wounded animal, but hopefully that'll bring out our fighting side and we'll be able to get our elbows out a little bit around here. But already closing in on Yuki Tsunoda. Don't know if there will have been any contact between any of the drivers. Didn't look like it on this first return lap. But we are up into 8th place. Everything going great so far, considering we started 22nd. Now, taking it easy into these corners. Want to look after the tyres as much as possible, really. But Nicholas Latifi is the guy right behind us still, and we should be able to pull away from him. It's going to be Gasly that I'm certainly worried about going forward. And the car's starting to rattle around a bit. I'm not feeling quite as strong as it has been. But let's see.
Okay. DRS has been enabled. DRS
well,
is now
safety car
enabled.
again.
The
Safety car again.
To reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be
And I
careful.
don't know what's happened or where that's happened, but I know that it has happened. Now, can we see why? Potentially not. I'm not seeing any debris out there, but there's another safety car. And Albon is out of the session. I'm not entirely sure what Albon did.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
Well, he's out of turn 1. So we are going to come in. We're going to put the hard tyres on. We're going to follow our engineer's instruction. Get this pit stop out of the way.
Right, drop your speed.
Could
Our
be
delta's
risky.
Too low, and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
But I suppose it gives us the option of going A little bit later into the Grand Prix, and if there is another safety car, potentially coming in and bolting on the softs for the last 10 laps. But it doesn't look like everybody's coming in. This is going to be a personal decision in our Grand Prix. So here we go. And we are in.
Like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going
So let's see what we can do.
The fastest pit stop time possible.
Hard tyre, of course, going on. We are going to drop pretty much to the back. Not a bad pit stop. That'll do. 2.7.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
And what this does allow us to do is warm up these tyres. So we've got to catch up to that queue, which is just at the top of the hill now. We're down to 16th, ahead of Sergio Perez. But yeah, it's all going to be about how we heat these tyres up, get them switched on, and certainly look after them between now and the end of the race. 26 laps, that's going to be a bit of a stretch. Okay, so safety car is ending on lap 13. So we've had 3 laps behind the safety car. How many laps until these guys come into the pits? That's the thing. Can they get a pit stop ahead of us?
Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature. And remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Keep everything nice and hot. Get everything ready for when the lights go out once again. So here we go. We sort of gave Latifi space last time and then just nailed it out the final corner. And that's exactly what we've done once again. And we get right into the slipstream of Lance Stroll, and we're going to be having a look around the outside of turn 1 again. And we're through. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff there. And we've got ERS enabled. You can see Piastri up ahead. He's having a little look at some of the drivers further up, and that's Vettel going down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, his former teammate, of course. And we are now behind Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. And closing in nicely here, potentially for a little look, but thought better of it. Our time will come. Obviously, we're on the hard tyres, not expecting to make big moves at this point of the Grand Prix, although our tyres are brand new and should be a lot grippier than their old mediums. Got an excellent run out of that corner. Bottas having a look at Vettel. It looks like Vettel's coming into the pits, and it looks like there might have been contact there. Piastri's into the pits, so he's had an incident. Now look at this. This is a great run on Valtteri Bottas. Again, we're going to have a little look at the switcheroo. Oh god, excellent exit. And look at this. We go towards the outside of turn 4. This is going to be huge. Both on the brakes at a very similar time. We give him the room, but we have the better exit. And back up to 11th in this Grand Prix, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. Bottas getting into our slipstream again. We know that Alfa Romeo is very slippy in a straight line, goes down the inside, but we have the better exit on the outside. But he's still there, and we have to yield at this point. That was an excellent move from Valtteri Bottas. I don't really know how he got that extra speed, but again, we get on the power nicely there. Bottas did make a bit of contact with Vettel, but not enough to warrant a pit stop apparently. And now DRS is going to be enabled. That's huge for us, of course. Once again, we get an excellent
DRS is now online.
Exit. Nice and early braking into there. Bit of a switcheroo. We get on the DRS, ERS deployment out of the corner to give us that slightly better exit. Again, it's all going to be about traction zone here. Not quite out of it as well as we could have been, and that's why Bottas has got away, and Perez is now having a look We've got DRS, he's got DRS.
Try to stay with
And
them.
Perez
Don't
is
make a
through,
mistake
but we're
if
going to
you
go
still
down the
get
inside, and, well, we made it stick. And that was risky, especially because Perez really isn't somebody that we're racing hard today. We'd obviously love to stay ahead of him, but it's not that realistic. But here they come. Here comes some of the front runners into the pit lane. Bottas flying around the final couple of corners. It looks like most of the top 10 are in. So we are past and now
You're in the top 10.
up to 7th. And remember, this is legitimate. And here comes Perez for volume 2 of the overtake. And we go for volume 2 of down the inside and making it stick. So Perez has to wait another lap to get past us. That's not great on Red Bull's home race. I would have been expecting Perez to be right up there, but he's not there at the moment. And neither is Verstappen, to be fair. I think Perez will finish ahead of him. There's Bottas coming into the pit lane. I think we just about grabbed DRS from him before he went. And there we go. So we are now up to 2nd position. Carlos Sainz is the car ahead of us. I believe he's another car that technically doesn't need a pit. He started on the soft tyres, so
Oscar's coming in for his stop
we'll
now.
see. Perez perhaps having a look here. But we sort of switcheroo him. We've got the DRS. This could be a chance to get back past him. We know we need to be well alongside him to have a go. Oh, well, he backed out of it. He backed out of it and we're back through again. 3rd lap in a row. Perez has made the overtake. But we've made him look like a mug there. And we're through, but what this is allowing Magnussen to do is close in on us. We certainly do not want that. We'll be able to pull away from him.
Sainz is in the pits.
So Carlos Sainz in the pits, so not even a chance of taking it to the end of the Grand Prix. So all of a sudden, for the first time since 2009, a Brawn Grand Prix car is leading a race legitimately. This is net position. Of course, we're probably not going to win the race, but we'll give it a good go. We'll give it a good fight with Perez. But this is very mixed up order at the moment. There goes Perez this time. He's taken that inside line. Or has he? Yeah, he has this time. And Perez now leads the Austrian Grand Prix. And Magnussen's going to have a little look as well. Down the inside, he gets his elbows out, but we stay true to our racing line. And he backs out of it fairly wisely, you would say. And now we want to try and stay in the DRS zone of Sergio Perez, but going to be very, very tough. So, Sergio Perez leads. We are in 2nd with Kevin Magnussen in 3rd. Esteban Ocon is 4th, continuing his good run of form after his win in Canada. And Max Verstappen is 5th. There goes Kevin Magnussen with the DRS. You feel like this is going to be one of those that's a bit of a ding-dong battle. But Magnussen is very, very quick on this game. Once again, he's pulled away in the traction zone. That's somewhere where we're really struggling at the moment relative to other cars. So trying to hold it true and stay nice and close for turn 1. That's okay. DRS enabled. And now we are closing in. I'm going to Case of brake early, run it through smoothly, get the DRS, and now can we go down the inside? Not quite. Although Magnussen locks up, and that is the opportunity to move back past. We had to back out of that. Nearly lost our front wing there. Magnussen has a little look down the inside. A little bit of contact, but we're still there. He's still there.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
And as I said, this is going to be a race-long battle, you feel. Very similarly paced cars. DRS very, very powerful around here to keep you in the loop. DRS enabled. This is going to bring us closer to Magnussen again. It's going to be about, again, guiding it through nicely. DRS. Closing in. Making sure we get a good exit from this corner. And this time, it's not going to be a pass, but we've got Ocon right behind us. He might be fancying his way down the inside, and he does have a go. A little bit of contact once again. And this is almost identical to the pass from Magnussen, but we have still got it down the inside. And we hold it there. And this is a really awesome Grand Prix so far. Trying to stay close to K-Mag. Staying in that 1 second window is going to be crucial. No DRS.
There's a fault with the DRS. You will not be able to open the rear wing. We're working on a fix. Stay out for now.
That is huge, because now we're not going to be able to stay within that 1 second very easily. We're certainly not going to be able to defend from Charles Leclerc, who it is behind us now. Him and Verstappen have all of a sudden overtaken Esteban Ocon. And here comes Charles Leclerc. He is through. No real surprise there. Championship leader, of course, is going to end up dominating this championship. But we'll let him battle it out with K-Mag. But we're going to hold it out with Max Verstappen. He's still on our inside. We give him the room, but we hold our own. Which is what you'd expect us to do. Now, there goes Max past us. I think our DRS is better. Kevin Magnussen getting his elbows out with Charles Leclerc there. Pushed him wide, and now Verstappen's having a little look. Charles Leclerc, this is going to be very tasty. Going into the next corner. Leclerc brings him out wide. They are still side by side. Our DRS back online. Verstappen thinks better of it than to go down the inside of Leclerc around this corner. But Magnussen, it's allowing him to pull away. We're still in 5th place. 1.7 ahead of George Russell as it stands. Looks like Ocon's had to come in now. But yeah, now Leclerc having a look at K-Mag. Surely it's going to be up into turn 3.
Watch out for the rear diffuser.
Well, again, you can see Leclerc having a look around the outside this time of Charles Leclerc. And now they're side by side. And it looks like Leclerc is through, but Magnussen will be trying his best to get back through. Doesn't manage it though. And now we got Max Verstappen looking to try and make it through. Well, these two are still side by side. Russell's now having a look at us. No luck for George there. But there goes George Russell having a look round the outside. And we, of course, keep our inside close to our chest. And we are through. Once again. Okay, Mag. What a battle he's having. Round our outside, don't think we're going to fight that one too hard again. I think use him passing Kevin Magnussen as a little opportunity. Mercedes, Ferraris and Red Bulls are just way too quick for us. Well, here goes George Russell now. And he is through as well. So we're down to 7th now as it stands.
Oscar is into the pit lane. Oscar in the pits.
Here we go then. We've got a chance on George Russell here. And this is a good exit. DRS enabled. Right in his slipstream. And we've got the outside line. He tries to force us out wide, but we're back through. But he's still there. And that has been our Achilles heel all day, has been that little traction zone there where the AI just seemed to fly off there and get a better exit. But we are still just behind George Russell. And Oscar Piastri once again into the pit lane. He's going to be lapped by us here. Don't know what's gone on with him this Grand Prix. But certainly not been impressive. As again, we now are attacking George Russell. DRS all the way up the hill. And again, DRS enabled, but not quite in his slipstream this time. Well, there's a yellow flag.
Okay, clear.
Up ahead, not entirely sure what that's for. I think it's going to bring about a safety car. It's Lando Norris, unfortunately for him, who was just behind us. And because of that, we've now dropped out of the 1 second window of George Russell. Trying desperately to get back into it. We've got 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Well, here we go then, on to the final lap of this Grand Prix.
Final lap of the race.
We're going to give it absolutely everything. We know Russell's within range of K-Mag. There could be an incident on the next part of the track. We got to be there to try and take advantage if we can. Our tyres are on the verge of going. That's still pretty good though. But yeah, Russell can't get close enough to Magnussen. So it looks like Magnussen's going to get an excellent 5th place here. We've got Mick Schumacher behind us. Still absolutely flat out there.
The gap to the car in front is 2.5 seconds.
Well, it's going to be Sergio Perez who wins, and Max Verstappen finishes 2nd, and it's a Red Bull 1-2. Charles Leclerc finishes 3rd, Lewis Hamilton 4th, Magnussen 5th, George Russell 6th, and we come across the line in 7th place. That is an awesome result from 22nd and last.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, I certainly didn't have any complaints with Kevin Magnussen's performance today. Incredible driving.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
There you have it then. Sergio Perez wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen only 2.6 seconds behind in second. Charles Leclerc finishes third. Hamilton fourth. Magnussen fifth and Russell sixth. We finished seventh ahead of Mick Schumacher in eighth, with Yuki Tsunoda in ninth and Daniel Ricciardo rounding out the top 10. Oscar Piastri 4 times through the pits today. Just not quite there, really. Very disappointing, have to say. And that could turn out to be one of his final races for the team. I believe we are going to be around about driver market season. We will find out in the next episode. But let's continue on and just see what sort of rewards there are, that sort of thing, and check whether we are actually there. But you can see Daniel Ricciardo generally beat us this weekend. We're 10-9 up on him. First to 30, of course. Plenty of money in the bank as well, which is what we like to see. But let's head back to team headquarters.
Morning, boss. This
Yeah,
week's
there you
income
go.
from the sponsors has cleared, and we're making good profit against our running costs.
So we can renegotiate with Oscar Piastri, or we can approach a new driver from the driver market. And of course, we've already talked about it. I think we are going to upgrade our driver. I really do think that. You can see Piastri 2 million. I think we got to bring my good friend, my favourite driver, Mr. Nico Hülkenberg, to the team. I think that's what we've got to aim for. We've got 4.3 million in the bank. I don't know if we'll have to offer more than that to get him, but it could send a little bit of a ripple through the driver market. We'll just have to see. But yeah, you know, we're halfway into the season. Oscar Piastri's best result is a P12, which was in Imola. He had a P13 at Baku, but other than that, languishing near the back most of the time. We've now had 6 point finishes, which I know that there have been some lucky ones in there, but there is points potential in the car. We know that, and certainly once we've got our upgrades on, hopefully we'll be flying once again. Next race is the 21st of July, so we should be looking at getting at least 2 upgrades on the car by that point, which you know, everybody's developing. It is going to be tough to keep up. You can see everybody is pushing hard to try and get those big upgrades in before the second half of the season. But that's where we'll leave it for today. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below, subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.